Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM21 Builder Nation story from Bangor City with me, Daniel. It's part 71 today and we are back with big games in the Welsh Premier League. We've not had a title race for a long time, not a close one anyway. But today we've got a double header against TNS, the current leaders, and after the same amount of games played past the halfway point in the Welsh Premier League season, we're 4 points behind. TNS not even that far behind on the goal difference either. The second one sees the start of the January transfer window too, so plenty that could go wrong or right just yet. But if you're looking forward to it and seeing if we can get involved in a proper title skirmish this year, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 content from two long-term stories. But let's be honest, it's brilliant to see somebody else coming along with us. Now next year, if they can just go and do it in Europe, we could have a spectacular season for Welsh football on our hands. But firstly, let's go and have a look at what's been happening since the last episode. Because there have been some disappointments, there's no denying that. You were with me, of course, as we played Rapid Vienna and had that last second heartbreak before beating Bala Town, the rivals, comfortably. But then, it all went a little bit wrong. We had Carmarthen at home in the Welsh Premier League and lost 1-0 with largely a first team in truth. We then won 3-0 at home to Barry as we bounced back. Dean, Duffy and Badebo with those. And then 7-2 away at Haverfordwest. Banks with a hat-trick, Maguire with 2 off the bench, and 1 for Lewid and Cottrell as well. So we're just starting to find a little bit of goal-scoring form again, which potentially bodes well for January. And we've got a little quieter schedule there. The league splits, we've got a couple of cup games, and we've got a chance to make things count. But TNS 4 points clear and doing as well as you could possibly hope for. Having said that, they haven't played us yet. So if we win these 2 games, we're back in charge with 11 games to go. They've got quality players still. Noah Daly still the key man. No sign of any of those players they were linked with earlier in the season. But with the window opening in just a week or so's time, and those players still available on a free, you've got to hope that TNS are going to go big. If they sign somebody like this, they can start to compete regularly. So let's go and see if they do via our 2 games against them. We've mentioned we've got the golden generation to look forward to at the club. We've of course still got the opportunity to win the Welsh Cup, the League Cup, and of course we're still in Europe too. And the SPFL Trust Trophy's nearing its end too. But we have got a big fight on our hands, and if we don't win the title after 4 successive years, just that one where we bottled it to Barry. I mean, last year TNS did show signs. It's the first time they got relatively close. But this is very different. They've only dropped points in 3 games out of 19. And we're just not able to compete with that. So we're going to go and get into the first match. We're going to try and get the double header off to a good start. Tom Clifford's still the key man to close down. And we are having to rotate slightly because of a few injury concerns. Or a few fatigue concerns, I should say. But we've gone for our first 11 today. It's just the bench where we're a little bit weaker. So in goal is George Wickens, Hampson at right back, Weaver left back, Badebo and Alzabad centre half. Hampson is really improving quickly, starting to become our new Kai McDonald. We've got Woods, Williams, Brooks and Maguire at the midfield 4. Maguire back from injury, Cottrell on the bench again. We're just rotating them because neither can really stay fit. And then Dean and Duffy, goals galore up top, and we need a bit more from them today. I've just realised I was looking at my confusion at the bench. It's the wrong Banks that's there. Now we've got the centre forward and the centre half. They're both S Banks as well. Doesn't make it easy. But among the substitutes, we have got a bit of quality. But there's a few heavy legs we'd rather rest. So we're going to go and get into the first game today. And fingers crossed we can get out on top. The home game, potentially the most important one. We need to get the title race back in our hands, particularly before Europe restarts. And here we go. We're starting to see the consistent side with TNS. Some superstars, some of those regulars that have been there a few years, and any additions of the likes of Williams in the starting lineup. On the bench, you've got the likes of Matty Smith, the ones they signed in the summer to improve the squad. So they are getting their TNS, and we're going to have to be careful. They're a side that are used to winning every game at the moment. We're not, because of Europe, because of the league games where we drop silly points. We're not in that winning mentality so much as them. However, we're on the back of a 7-2 win. As Palmer plays out from the back for TNS, Hampson heads it down for Brooks. We'd love an early goal. We'd really love to get on top early here. Woods picks it up just inside their half. Back to Alzabad. Into Brooks in the middle. Where's that star quality? Through ball to Duffy. That's sublime. But Duffy hits the post. The first chance. The first brilliant touch. The turn. The pivot and the shot with the left foot was great. But the woodwork came to the rescue. TNS surviving early on. But here are TNS bouncing back with a free kick. Woods heads it away, but only as far as Clifford. We know his delivery's great. We know what Noah Daly can do. We had him at Cliftonville in FM20. But here's Harding on the left, through ball to Vigar. They're in TNS. Oh, he's missed a sitter. The only reason that Vigar is still playing in the Welsh Premier League is because he can't finish. If he could, he'd be in a top European league. He's got everything else, the kid. But no shots on target in half an hour. TNS have probably had the best chance, although we've had one good one each. And the possession's pretty level. There is not much between us anymore. It's not that we are a dominant side. We're not far better than them. They've got good players, and if they keep them fit like they have this year, they're in control. Though Max Dean's into the box here. We found a way in behind, but Williams wins it. Dean cuts it back to Ian Brooks, and Duffy's poaching again. Excellent work between the yards of the 6-yard box. Between the lines of the 6-yard box even. But Joe Duffy gets the crucial goal, and it's probably not been well deserved. It's the only shot on target of the first half of this match. But it gives Bangor City the lead, and it gets us back in the title race. We'll take the scrappiest 1-0 you could wish for now. But there is a chance for us to try and get ahead in this second half. Try and get on the front foot and get 2 or 3. As Dean gets it from Hampson's throw-in. He's overlapping again. Here is Ian Hampson, the right back, into Callum Maguire. There's the chance, he's hit the post. Had to do better with that opportunity. Oh, we're going to regret it if it stays 1-0. We've not been the most offensively sound this year, and it's something you've never really said of us in recent seasons. But still, it's the only shot on target. It's by no means dominance that we've seen in previous years. This is now a very tight game between two good sides. We're just about edging it at the moment, but with 20 to go, we need to make some changes. Cottrell is going to come on in attacking midfield for Maguire. Williams is going to be replaced by Luca Cannell. And we're also, it's either Woods or Hampson off. I think because of the legs, it'll be Hampson. And young Jack Hankin, the superstar from our youth academy, he's going to be the one to get the minutes. Hopefully, we'll be able to cling on. And here is an in-swinging corner. Just 10 minutes left for Ben Cottrell to put it in. Headed away by Cutbush. Cottrell again. Into Alzabad, it's blocked. Badebo the same. Oh, the referee's given a penalty. I mean, we'll take it, but not in a million years is that a penalty kick. Ben Cottrell will take it. We've got to have the best taker on it. We've got to make sure the game's wrapped up. No, nothing for Joe Duffy's goal record matters here. Here's Ben Cottrell. Chance to make it 2. And does make it 2. A crucial win this is going to be for Bangor City. TNS are pushing us all the way in the title race. And you can see why here. It's been a really tense game. They've been the only 2 shots on target. A penalty kick and our first half goal. But we'll take it. A brilliant effort from Bangor City. A really important match. And we've turned up for it. 2-0 we win. And TNS need revenge on the 1st of January. If they don't get it in the next one, if they don't get the revenge at home, it could be the title race is back in our hands. So let's skip ahead to it. The transfer window will be open and see what we can do. We've got a new signing to introduce then as well. I'll see you in a minute. New Year's Day then, back for the second game, and it's even bigger now because we're 1 point behind after that victory, and whoever wins this game, or if it's a draw, it's still TNS, is in charge of the title race. So it's a big moment for us, a win, and we go 2 points clear, and all is well again in the world. But let's firstly have a look at the transfer news, because there has been one addition to the squad. But the main bit of news, I mean, Hayden Coulson's been offered a contract by the Director of Football. I mean, he's a good experienced player, but I'm not quite sure why. He's not someone we'd probably prioritise, although I guess as a squad option, if it's a half-year deal, it's not bad. And that's similar to the one we bought in. Now, he actually joined on Christmas Eve, but he wasn't eligible to play till today, so I didn't introduce him. We've also sold one of the poorer youngsters for free too. But Elliot Andrew, you may remember, is one of those we had on trial in the summer, but wanted massive wages. Now, come November, no club, no option, and we've got ourselves a 4th striker, because he joins us on £475 a week. So only till the end of this season. We're not taking any liberties. We're not giving him a big long deal. We just want a better 4th choice, particularly with Glatzel being out injured so often. We've got to try and give ourselves scoring options. So he comes in having spent 3 years at Colchester prior to his release. But let's have a look at our team for today, as it's TNS v Bangor City again. And this one's the big one, because away from home, they might be able to get in the ascendancy a bit more. As we speak of it, we have got striker problems. We're missing Joe Duffy, who's out with a knock. So Glatzel will come into the 11, and Elliot Andrew will be on the bench. In terms of the lineup, Maguire's got a heavy match load, so Ben Cottrell will start after his good goal off the bench from the spot. And the rest of the team stays the same. So let's just see if there's anything we can do on the bench. I don't think there is really. I'm going to take Banks off because Andrew's available. And we'll get one of the centre halves on in Dean Rogers. But that's what we're going to go for. We've got only one under-19 in the squad. There's the problem. I think I'm going to have to swap Maguire's heavy match load for Tom Jones because it's an under-19 with similar quality. So that's what we've gone for. 2 changes to the 11. 1 enforced, which is Glatzel in for the injured Duffy. Big loss in terms of goals, that is. And then Cottrell in for Maguire in the number 10 role. Hopefully, it will make a big impact. And fingers crossed on the road, it gives us a chance to get in charge of the title race. Anything but a win, and it's in TNS's hands. Well then, a very similar side for TNS, but a couple of changes in there. So let's see how they get on. All the big hitters are still in the 11. So I'd imagine it's going to be a very good performance. We're going to pump the fist, or are we? We're going to say we showed we can beat TNS last time. Let's do the same again. It's probably a good thing that we're playing them back-to-back because we can get them while we've got their confidence down. But we do know that TNS are a threat. They've got Vigart, they've got Daly, they've got Antwi. It's great on the counter. They've got good set-piece delivery from Clifford, and here it is early on. Cleared away as far as Brooks, though, and now we can counter. 3-on-3, Clifford gets back. That's the quality of defender we're not used to facing at this level. Alzabad heads away to clearance, though. Dean brings it down for Williams, and we've still got a chance to get in front. Max Dean's in. Good sliding challenge. Oh my word. The referee has given a penalty kick. That's astonishing. If that was against me, I would be livid. TNS have every right to be upset here. Ben Cottrell puts it down the middle, and that refereeing decision might have won us the title. That is astonishing. It was a brilliant tackle. You've got to feel for Blackburn, the defender. He got a booking as well. We lead against TNS, and I almost feel guilty now. For all of this about pumping it up to be a big game in the title race. TNS have now had more shots on target. They've been the better side. They've had more possession. And we're winning courtesy of an awful refereeing mistake. But they've got a throw on the left TNS here. They've got a chance to get back in it. Antwi throws in. Woods heads away. And Max Dean can bring it on the counter now. And because we've scored that goal from the spot, they've had to throw men forward. And Glatzel gets a chance on the counter there. Good save by Lufra, the keeper. But as much as we wanted to win this game, I don't really want to win it like that. So let's hope we can do something special later on. We've got a throw in on the left with Weaver here. It would be a perfect time to get the second. And Badebo's trying to recreate that. Gets it wide to Yes-Den Weaver. Into Brooks. Weaver, incidentally, won second place in Best Welsh Young Player of the Year. And he's somehow come out of that scramble with the ball. Finds Brooks on the left. Back to Archie Woods and Williams. Goes for the shot. It's blocked off Cottrell. And we've got another massive slice of luck. Wood's shot, or Williams' shot from the edge, was awful. Blocked off Cottrell. Went wide to Weaver. And then he crossed it straight into the path of Cottrell again. We just caught them out. And we're somehow 2-0 up here. And a bit like the last game at our place. I don't know how. I mean, the refereeing decision was diabolical. And I'm sure there'll be some comments after the game. But you've got to feel for TNS. As Max Dean now comes through. We're on the counter every time because they've got to throw men forward. And at half time, we're going to lead 2-0. Max Dean wastes that effort. But the referee's to blame. It was an awful decision to give a penalty. And TNS will rightly feel hard done by. We're going to tell the boys to keep it up to make sure they don't throw away this lead. But you've got to feel for the host. The fans will be up in arms. Weaver chips it forward to Glatzel though. Can we get a third early on? We can't. It's cleared away to Alzabad. And he restarts with George Wickens. The main thing for us is that we don't concede a goal threat here. We've got to make sure we keep it at 0. And that's not going to help. Woods gives it away. Antwi into the box. Beats his man and his shot's just wide. The keeper, I think, maybe had it covered. But we don't want to give away chances like that. Wickens plays out from the back. Gives it away again, but Brooks nicks in. Cottrell slides it forward to Glatzel. Palmer intercepts and hoofs downfield. Badebo finds Yes-Den Weaver. Badebo back again to the goalkeeper Wickens. Long over the top towards Weaver. And Daly gets it as he's headed away. He picks it up on the right. He's cutting inside. Beats all the traffic and finds Antwi on the left. He's shown everything apart from the final product recently. Clifford has got that. He finds Harding. Out to the right to Daly. There's an overlap from the fullback. Daly goes inside to Ewing. Out to the right to Palmer. Time on the ball again. No real pressure from Weaver. But thankfully the ball into the box is poor. Williams clears away. Glatzel beats the defender to it. We're on the break for 3. And Paul Glatzel with a brilliant counter-attacking finish has made it 3-0 to Bangor City. Just 2 gone in the second half. And everything's been undone because they're having to force things now. And you just feel for them. I'm glad that we've put some daylight between us. But the way it started really is unfair. As it stands, Bangor City are in charge of the title race. And we've got the referee to thank for it. Because that decision at the start, I can't take my mind off it. It was appalling. Let's go and make a couple of changes quickly. Williams will play in centre midfield. He'll be replaced by Luca Cannell. Dean up front, replaced by Andrew, who will make his debut up there. And then probably Archie Woods. He's the one who's struggling the most. Harvey Lewid has got the chance to come on. And we're giving more youngsters football. That's what we want to see. 20 minutes to go. It's been an even game. Look at the chances. Take away the penalty, which is one of the expected goals. There's not much between us again. We're just edging it. But TNS are very much a worthy adversary. And they'll be very, very angry at the end of this. I can't wait to see what's said about the referee as Harvey Lewid picks it up in the middle again. Can we really make it a standing out performance? Can we get Elliot Andrew a debut goal? Weaver gives it to Brooks. He's in the box there, but it's over here. Andrew's forced wide on the wing. Maybe an assist instead then. Ball into Cottrell. Oh, that's brilliant. It's Luca Cannell, in the box. And Andrew with the ball in, it is point blank. It is perfect. Pinpoint even. Onto Luca Cannell's ankle. And it's a brilliant finish. Curls it into the corner. But despite the fact there wasn't much between us, we have won 4-0 at TNS. The title race is finally back in our hands. And TNS, I'm sure, will be very angry in the aftermath of this performance. So of course the media focused on the fact that we're top of the league. And we've got to be excited by that. But there seems to be nothing about the refereeing report. Not even in the social media side. It wasn't dominance really, was it? We saw the stats. I don't quite understand where that's coming from. I mean, in other news, Aberystwyth are third. They look like on their return to the top tier, they're going to get into Europe. It's been a fantastic effort from them. And that youngster from us, McMinamy, has been a key man to that. We end a long unbeaten run for TNS. Ben Cottrell was absolutely brilliant. He'll go and get the praise as well. And Elliot Andrew made an impact off the bench on his debut. So here's our plan for the rest of the month. We're going to keep an eye on TNS. I genuinely hope they sign the likes of Ronan Hughes, who they've been linked with. Try and really bolster themselves and become a side that can compete. Because even if they don't do it this season, if it's permanent additions, they'll compete in Europe next year. In terms of transfers though, for us it's just about bolstering the squad and more importantly, loaning out some of these brilliant youngsters who haven't got the biggest potential to get football at the top tier level. There's plenty of sides they can benefit in the Welsh League and fingers crossed they'll be able to do that. But in the meantime this month we've got big games as well. A League Cup semi-final against Bala. We've got the fourth round of the Welsh Cup as we start there. We've got the SPFL Trust Trophy semi-final against St Mirren. And then we will be back in mid-February because we have got the big return of Europe. The Europa Conference knockout rounds for the second year in a row. And it's St Gallen of Switzerland in a two-legged tie starting from the 17th of February. So after our return to the top of the league table and a chance to really succeed and reach a couple of cup finals, I know we might have the League Cup final if we beat Bala, but we'll skip it again and just hope that we don't get beaten. But we'll be back for the European tie. If you did enjoy this episode though, a fortunate doubleheader, particularly refereeing wise against TNS. Please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily content from 2 long-term stories. This one will be back in 2 days' time, but firstly, a massive one in the head coach. Please do make sure you check out yesterday's episode, a massive one in the series, and I really hope you enjoy it. I hope you approve of what we've done, and fingers crossed that will take us from strength to strength as well. But thank you for your continued support. You can catch up with all the playlists in the eye above. The podcast channel link's up there as well. We're growing really quickly and we can't thank you enough for the support. And I hope to see you next time as Europe returns with Bangor City. But will we still be in the title race? Will we have won the League Cup? And will we still be competing on every other front? Hopefully TNS will have improved as well. But I'll see you next time to find out if all of that happens.